Seems like every year Columbus is on some sort of list. You know, fastest growing in Ohio, fastest growing in the Midwest. 2024, we are the fastest growing city in the country. Hey, what's up everyone? Andy Howell here, local realtor, promoter of Columbus. In today's video, we are talking about Columbus, Ohio being the fastest growing city in the entire country. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video though, please reach down, hit that subscribe button. I love making videos all about Columbus, showing you why I love it, why you might love it if you're looking to relocate your life here. So hit that subscribe button. Better yet, my contact information is below. I love hearing from you guys every day and helping you find that dream home here in the Columbus area. So, Bank of America Institute recently found that Columbus is the fastest growing city in the country, in the United States. I think this is going to surprise a heck of a lot of people, but for those of us that have been around Columbus, this is nothing new. The fact is that Columbus, since its inception in 1812, has pretty much been growing every year, but the pace of growth has been almost boringly consistent. So much so that Columbus, in its over 200 years of existence, has never had its population dip in any given year. That is absolutely amazing to me. You know, especially when you consider the fate of, over the last 40 years, of many Midwestern towns. During the 1980s, when globalization became all the rage, a lot of corporations looked to increase their bottom line, and one of the ways they did that is by shipping manufacturing that was heavily concentrated here in the Midwest and the Northeast over to other countries to improve their bottom line. It worked, improved the bottom line, but it also decimated a lot of Midwestern and Northeastern cities. So how was Columbus able to avoid this fate that you see with so many Midwestern cities of, a once thriving downtown that is a ghost town, aging infrastructure, and just excess manufacturing capacity that is abandoned? Like, why? How was Columbus possibly able to avoid that? In my mind, the reason is four things, and I'll list them for you, and then we'll take a deeper dive into each topic. The first one is job base, affordability, annexation, and what I'm going to call the Columbus way. So let's break these down a little bit. Job base. Everybody says it, but Columbus is just built different. Columbus is the only non-legacy city in Ohio, and what that means is it was built not on the back of manufacturing. It was built more with professional and governmental services. It was built to be the capital of Ohio. So lots of professional and government services jobs. Education is huge here, and finance. Look no further, Ohio State in education, the third largest public university by enrollment. We've got Huntington Bankshares here, a regional banking powerhouse. JP Morgan Chase has pretty much their second headquarters outside of Manhattan, here in Columbus. We've got Nationwide Financial, which is a huge player in the insurance and financial services industries. As far as healthcare goes, we've got Nationwide's Children's, which is one of the best children's hospitals in the region. We've got Ohio Health. We've got the Wexner Center, a large cross-section of employment. And what, when you think about governmental services, finance, healthcare, even education, what do all these industries need? Or how can they benefit? Well, they can benefit from data. So as a consequence, we also have about 40% more IT workers than you would expect from a region this size. We also have manufacturing too, but I'm almost calling it the Industrial Revolution 2.0 here in Ohio. Manufacturing is starting to really come back online here in Ohio, but in a high-tech fashion. You guys have heard me mention, and probably too much, the Intel fabrication plants that are happening here. Again, hard to underestimate the impact that's going to have for a lot of facets of manufacturing. So when you consider all these this diverse employment base, if there is a recession, we're pretty insulated. Those healthcare jobs, those government jobs, even in a recession, are probably not going to go away. People are still getting sick, and people are still going to need governmental services. Number two, affordable housing. For the longest time, affordability of housing in this area has been a major benefit. That's becoming less so as more and more people move to the area, but here in March 2024, we are still about a little more than 10% cheaper than the national average. The average home is going to cost a little under 350 here, 350,000, while the national average is a little over 400,000. So that's certainly a big benefit, and it has been a big driver for all the people moving here. But it's becoming less so as the years go on, and unless we do something about it, this is going to become critical. Right now, we have about 11,000 housing units being produced every year, which seems like a lot. But the problem is we need about double that to keep up with the demand for everybody moving here. So, you know, that begs the question, well, why aren't these developers why don't they just go out and you know, develop more, build more houses? It seems like the market is there. I would tend to agree. However, after doing some small-time development myself, it is really difficult here in 2024 to make deals pencil. We've had really a lot of inflation across the board, and so developers are looking at, man, interest rates, the cost of capital is really expensive, the cost of materials are really expensive, and the cost of labor is really expensive. So they're just kind of sitting on the sidelines and waiting till it makes a little bit more sense. We are going to need more houses, and that's going to play into continuing the growth we want to see. I mean, we have got to have a stable and reliable workforce that feels like they can afford to live in the area, or otherwise, you know, that job creation and businesses moving to the area is going to slow down. And in fact, you know, somewhat surprisingly, the Central Ohio region does lag behind the national average in job creation. And I was kind of scratching my head on this, because how can we be the fastest growing city in the country but lagging behind the national average in job creation? I think Columbus in general, we are just like kind of steady Eddie in growth, nothing too flashy, with the exception of, you know, the period around 1950 and today, where we're rivaling the growth of towns like, you know, Houston and Phoenix. But we are slower to create jobs, but we're also slower to just slash jobs. So, which is a good thing. That does provide some stability for your family and for the workforce here in Columbus. Third on our list is annexation. If you aren't familiar with this, annexation is essentially an area just saying, well, let's use Columbus for an example. They just say, hey, here's this tract of 30 acres right here. Boom, this is now Columbus. That's called annexation. So they essentially adopt this new tract of land, all the population that's in that tract of land, and also that tax base. So this has been a big boom since around 1950 for Columbus, and something that cities like Cincinnati and Cleveland they're not able to do that because of the way the geography and the way that, you know, some of the ancillary cities around them are all planned out. But that has been a huge driver for the growth of Columbus, and I think it will continue to be. Fourth on our list is what I'm calling the Columbus Way. We've got this collaborative thing going on here in Columbus with business leaders, community members, and just stakeholders in the area, where people get together and they have a common purpose, which is to make, you know, Columbus great, or to continue the growth, or to provide more transit, or whatever it is. And these leaders from disparate businesses get together, they have the vision, and they figure out a way to execute it that raises the tide for all ships here in Columbus. I think this is something that's really unique, this collaborative nature, instead of, you know, it is competitive, but it's also collaborative here in Columbus, and I think that's really unique. You know, the Mid-Ohio Planning Commission is anticipating Ohio and the Columbus region to continue to grow through 2050. In fact, a little over a 1% growth rate for this next 25 years. So this is going to continue to grow and to kind of be a big city, and I'm here for it. So let me know what some of the reasons, why do you think Columbus has grown so fast? Why do you think people are moving here? What have been the main drivers in your opinion? Thanks for watching, guys. Drop your comment below, and have a great day.